Happy Autumn Equinox, everyone. It's Josh coming to you with a tarot snapshot. This is something that I used to do every Sunday night. It's something that has fallen away because I'm a busy person with lots on my plate, and I had to move some things off of my plate to make my life a little bit easier, more manageable. That was one of those things. But now I have a little bit of time. I feel like I should be doing this, so I'm going to go ahead and give a tarot snapshot. Now, warning, this is a 10-minute-ish long video, so sit down. Let's have a cup of tea together, a little bit of time together to look at the autumn equinox, this balancing point between day and night, equal amounts of day, equal amounts of night. We're halfway between the summer and the winter solstice, that halfway point, and a good time to take stock of the things that we're harvesting and the things that we're creating, all of that. Now, let's go ahead and shuffle 3 times. I'll explain to you what the tarot snapshot is. It's a card that represents where we're at and who we are in this moment. There's a card that vexes and perplexes us, the challenges that we are facing, and then the card of what heals and reveals, the medicine that we can lean into. So let's take a look at where we're at. Now, what I love about this reading is that this guidance that Spirit and Tarot is going to share with us is also for me. So I get a lot out of this as well. So here we go. The card that represents us right now in this moment is the Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is card 5 of the major arcana. This is Greek for priest. Now, this can talk about religion, oppressive religion. This can talk about systems like schools and families and communities. Yet what this card has taught me, and this is where my relationship with tarot supersedes even the traditional meanings of the cards. The Hierophant is the priest. Hierophant is Greek for priest. And what this card has taught me is that we are our own priests. Now, you can come to a person like me or other spiritual practitioners for guidance. I am a firm believer that a spiritual practitioner or even a spiritual path worth their salt will always guide a person back to the authority of their own heart. Now, this gives me opportunity to ask you a question, and this is me illustrating to you that you are your own priest. Now, watch this. Let's tap right into your spirit in a very easy way. Do me a favor. Put into your mind a guilt, a regret, or a shame. Or a guilt, or regret, or a shame. Something that you, in your past, would hold regret over, shame over, guilt over. As you hold that in your mind, I'm going to now ask you to put into your mind what you would tell a daughter, or a sister, or a best friend if they felt that way about that circumstance. So right now you would have what you tell yourself about that circumstance and what you would tell anybody else, especially those people that you love, in the face of that circumstance. Compare and contrast those 2 messages, and you can see that right now on the inside of you, you are carrying around a lie. Now, hopefully, ideally, you are telling yourself and interacting with that regret, shame, or guilt in a way that you'd want your family members, your loved ones to. But if you were, you wouldn't actually be able to call it a regret or a shame or a guilt because it would turn into something else. So tap into your own spirit by tapping into your own guidance system. That is the love that you carry. You are your own priest. And me, a guy like me, all I'm doing is guiding you back to that. So let's remember that. Now, we're our own priests. We're our own spiritual authority. And we can get help, of course. But we're our own authority. Let's take a look at the card that vexes and perplexes us. Okay, another 5. The grief card. The grief card. So this is the 5 of Cups. Let's take a look here. This card shows a person mourning 3 cups that have fallen over. They're so stuck in that mourning that they're not looking at what they have standing here. Now this card right here, because it just related to this card. Now watch what happens. I love this. I study tarot all the time, pull tarot cards every day. Study, learn, but I just learned something new. Okay. This person right here, looking at these cups, is not remembering the authority that lives within them. So if this is regret, shame, and guilt, okay, that you hold on to, what's this? If this is what you tell yourself, this is what you're telling other people. Can you stand up, turn around, and look at the wisdom of your own spirit? When you do, you'll see that there's a bridge. Cross that river to happiness. This is an important message for us all because we all have incredible expectations for ourselves. We are, generally speaking, our own worst enemy. This card is asking you to remember that you have access to spirit within you because you are spirit, and as such, you can pay attention to the right things, or how do I say, the fair things. The fair things. Because those things that would have caused us guilt, shame, and regret, well, they happened. They're in the past. A good reminder of the past is that we need to leave it there. The best advice my dad ever gave me had to do with driving when he said, well, when you're driving, you look out the windshield, you don't look in the rear view. I love that so much. And this card is asking you to remember that you are the authority of yourself, to stop looking at what is a lie and start looking at the truth. The card that heals and reveals our guidance around this. The Six of Cups. Oh, it's so beautiful. So we go from the 5 to the 6. In tarot, the 5s are a card of imbalance, an odd number, pushing us from 4 to 6. And we go from the 5 of Cups to the 6 of Cups. And this is the card of vitamin joy. And that's what I call it. That idea that we must pursue joy as a vitamin in the face of all the grief and trauma and turmoil that's inevitable in this world. If you have a lot of grief, trauma, pain, and turmoil, well, you have to dial up that vitamin joy. And this card is a card of nostalgia. And nostalgia, to me, is one of the most potent forms of vitamin joy, because what that's doing is that's getting us to the more, how do I say, the undistilled version of our spirit. So what will happen to us is we walk into the world a spirit very close to that love and the divinity that our spirit's made up of. And then we start getting layered by our parents and school and advertising and movies and all these things that start to program us and create an identity. When you participate in something nostalgic, what you're doing is you're helping to bring yourself back to that place where you were an undistilled spirit. Or distilled? I think an unfiltered, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So participate in nostalgia. And actually, I'll know, and this has happened to me, I will know when I'm a little too stretched too thin, because I'll start to crave some vampire movies from the 80s that were my favorite when I was a kid. When I start to crave those things, I'm like, oh man, I'm a little bit too overextended. Super important for you to remember here in your process to get the joy in. And when you get your vitamin joy in, it'll help you pick your head up, turn around, and look at the good stuff that you still have. So with that being said, remember that you're your own priest. Remember that your spirit is a part of divinity, and as such has a wisdom and a love that nobody can ever take away from you. They can only train you to believe that you're not worthy of it. So remember the beauty of your own spirit, and give yourself the grace and the love that you give others. And watch how your life unfolds. So, take care of yourself. Thank you for being here. Tarot Snapshot. Maybe I'll do another one next Sunday. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure. I'll have to check into where I am. But much love to you, and thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself.